Hey guys, Scott Fishman here with a great guest. First time for me, so I'm really excited. Someone who's been very important when it comes to women's wrestling, dating back to the gorgeous ladies of wrestling back in the 1980s to right now, where Wow Women of Wrestling has really taken over the scene when it comes to syndication and television. It's in season 4 right now that just kicked off. And they're going to have they're actually I call it returning home in a lot of ways, come full circle, I'd say, when they're going to be at the iconic Fremont Street Experience. You can go see Wow Women of Wrestling and all the superheroes there October 14th, 15th, 21st, and 22nd. And David McLane, the visionary between, Wow, Glow, anything women's wrestling is here today. So happy to have him here. Hey, David,
Thank you,
how's it going?
Scott. Fantastic. Glad to be here. And thanks for the plug on Fremont Street. We're so excited to return to Las Vegas and be down at the iconic Fremont Street experience where there's like 40 million. Who would know if there were only 38 million? But they say 40 million LED lights with the largest light canopy in the world. And that's what we'll be under. It'll be a wild takeover of the street. Their CEO, Andrew Simon, has put this together. They're going to put the Wow Fame purple ring right in the middle of Fremont Street, right by the D Casino, the Fremont Casino, and the Four Queens, and stage three, they call it. And the matches will be going on each night. So we encourage everyone that's listening. We love SC Scoops. We love all the fans that follow wrestling there. And it's go grab a flight, come on down to Las Vegas. The rooms are it's weekday, it's a Tuesday and Wednesday, everything is reasonably priced, and Fremont is making sure the events are all for everyone. There's been a lot of hooboo how much wrestling is costing lately for the fans, and this is great that Fremont Street and the city of Las Vegas is underwriting and putting this event on for everyone for free. That's big news, Scott.
Yeah,
Everyone can
Fremont
come
free.
down,
I like free
Fremont
99.
free, and you can come down and watch WoW being taped for its national syndicated TV show, which is on in 100% 4 years in a row from Paramount Global of the United States, airing twice every weekend in the markets. And then it re airs on Vice TV during the week. There's a 24/7 channel on Pluto. And of course, we're also on Tubi. So um, you can see WoW in a lot of different platforms and locations, but this is a unique opportunity to see it live and to see it for free. So we encourage everyone, get your tickets. You mentioned the first dates are October 14th. That's a Tuesday night. You can spend the night, and the next night's the 15th. And then the following week is the 21st and 22nd.
hmm What, going back to Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling in Vegas as well, what does this mean to you kind of see the evolution and you kind of being a part of this? How do you kind of reflect back on those days to what this has become?
It's been a long journey, a long journey, and I've watched some. I'm a big fan of the Bella Twins, and I saw Nikki's return to wrestling recently, and I was so proud of her returning. And now AJ, who helped launch us, and was joining Jeanie in executive producing and getting us off the ground our first season of WoW before she went off and was doing two movies, and to see her come back is great. So it's a great time for women's wrestling. I'm humbled to be a part of any of it, and humbled to see its growth, and to see us on Fremont Street Experience was really a dream I had from the day I came to Vegas. I went down there, and it was a bundle of activity and fun that's unlike the strip. And those days the canopy wasn't even there. I watched that canopy get built from scratch. And it's a destination like no other in the entire world. Fremont Street Experience. If you come to Vegas and don't go there, you're missing something. And you've got to go downtown. It has the best gambling, it has the best odds, it has the best room prices, and it's 24/7 excitement, all with walking. And what's great is with WOW being there, it's family entertainment. Many people can bring the kids down to this event. which is unusual.
So is this the kind of final form you would say from when you started with Glow to what you're seeing now with WoW?
Yes, it's really a dream. Yeah, I'm lucky. I pat myself and pinch myself. I'm just so blessed. It's great. Um, I've got one more though from here. We've got to go live. We've got to get WoW live. Any of you fans, we've got to rally that. WoW live, WoW live. It's got to go live versus tape programming and syndication only.
And one of the initial incarnations of WoW, I go back, what, 25 years ago, and then you guys were on pay-per-view. Is that kind of something that you also want to see move forward when it comes to that sort of thing? Or do you think the format is conducive to what you're doing right now with
Well,
weekly
the
shows?
formatting is conducive to now getting the brand out, getting it known, um, and people know about it and they know wow. But it's not conducive to maximizing the audience and or engagement of the audience. And that's not going to happen till we go live. And so everything from social media to merchandise to marketing, the superheroes, um, has been hampered in the fact that we're not live. We've got to go live. I was just at another wrestling event, and when I flew in, I went to a WNBA game here in Las Vegas, where I am now, and I'm watching the fans interact on their phones in real time, and it's just a great experience. It's an engagement. It's a family environment through your phone and technology. And to take part in that, we've got to get live.
What about touring, like going across the country? I mean, I live in Florida, love to see WoW shows are over here. Where are you guys at when that comes that sort of thing? When you come, putting on shows and
When we
tapings?
go live with live events, we'll consider that and look at it. If we did it today, we'd be dead meat financially. The cost to put it up and take it city to city is very difficult. And we'd be dead meat. But that is an ultimate goal, to obviously take it out and be in different cities. Um, UFC has even struggled with that. They would love financially probably just to be in one location and do their UFC fights. But their president and CEO, Dana White, once mentioned, and I agree with him, to grow the brand and touch the fans, he's obligated to still take it out into the marketplace and take it to different cities. And we will need to do the same.
When it comes to the live, how are those conversations going? I mean, I think with the way the television landscape is, with how popular pro wrestling is, and how places are looking for content constantly. I mean, has that you feel that's kind of helped things?
Yes, we've been in talks and we have a network that wants to test it live. But I remember, my business partner and I, Jeanie Buss and I, we met many, many, many years ago, some 30, when we were doing roller hockey, a roller hockey league. And I remember when I was launching that with ESPN and their then president, Steve Bordenstein, and they said, let's test it. We'll put one or two roller hockey events on. And I came back and I guess said, we can't do it unless you go all in,
Hmm.
because with one test, you're not going to learn anything with one event. You've got to see how it goes over time and you've got to be committed to it. So we're looking for that right partner right now.
Hmm. You've mentioned Jeannie being a good partner. I think what's amazing about her is there's so much buy-in. She's all about promoting. We saw her at the San Diego Comic-Con again this year, really getting that brand out there. In addition to all the other things that she does, I think it's a testament that she's not just a face; she actually has a buy-in and she's hands-on with it. So, how is it kind of being to collaborate with someone like her over the
Oh,
years?
talk about blessings. I've had several partners in trying to lift women's wrestling up, and you couldn't have a better one than Jeanie Buss, and she's committed to it. She used to dress up as Supergirl as a kid. And in fact, in one of our upcoming WoW telecasts, it's coming, we're going to do a preview show before we launch the Fremont Street Experience wrestling shows from there.
Cool.
And Katie Marie Jones, who's the host of the Vegas Knights hockey team, and myself host it. And we have a clip in here of Jeanie Buss talking about WoW and her engagement with WoW and the reason she got involved in WoW. And we have inside that clip her as a young little teenager dressed with her cape wrapped around her neck and with her hands on her hips, and she is Supergirl.
That's great.
And
That's a
by
great.
the
That's great.
way, I mentioned this. Some people, the tagline for the WoW superheroes was created by Jeanie when she came to the matches. Prior to Jeanie's engagement, I was calling them the WoW girls, and she said, "No, no, they're like real life action superheroes when they fly off the ropes and do the this and that." And I fell in love with comic books as a kid, and these are real life comic book people come to life, bigger than life. They should be called the superheroes. And that
Yes.
was it. And that's how they become branded the WoW superheroes due to Jeanie Buss's uh, innate genius marketing skill set.
Love it. One thing I think that separates WoW that I love is you really delve into the backstories and kind of really pull from that those real backstories into what the personas we see on television. Talk a little bit about kind of what goes into recruiting, these women because they have great backstories, but can they, hit the ring, do the bumps, put the time, put the effort in? Just talk a little bit about that and how that's kind of what you've learned from the past that you've kind of
And I
implemented
want you
now.
to keep me on track on this, Scott, because I'm going to sideway with two answers per your question.
Sure.
One, what goes into finding the superhero? That's your main question. And
Yeah.
then two, skirting back to what you said, I love that you said you like how WoW really zeroes in on the performer and the backstories of them. And
Yes.
we kind of got away from that last season, in my opinion, in the WoW shows. There wasn't as much. A lot more was done at the venue. We had a big stage. We had $1 million stage. We had double the size of the crowd, and the more was done in the live arena. And I think we got away from focusing on those performers' backstories. And so I've heard from many fans, and now you, who I consider an expert in the industry, saying you enjoy that. And we're planning to do more of that this coming new season with Paramount. We're going to delve into the performance. We even took a camera crew just last week down to Florida to spend 3 days with Santana Garrett and do
Love
a
her.
backstory at her home, on her dock, and spend time with her. Fury, who's joined Chainsaw and Daisy Lane. We drove over to her hometown and met with her and spent the afternoon with her with a camera crew. I think the fans are going to really enjoy the diving into who these performers and wrestlers are, um, more so than any other wrestling program out there. So I was glad to hear that. Now back to the other question: how do you vet them? How do you find them? We're fortunate enough. Jeanie Buss from day one invested in a WOW training school, and there's multiple wrestling schools across the country, and the other leagues kind of feed off of them and they get talent requests. We have a few from other locations. Even the Carlson twins, um, Alpha and Sika were their trainers originally, I believe. And Fury was trained by a professional wrestler down in I think the Memphis area. But Jeannie wanted to invest in a training school so that we could develop homegrown talent and find athletes that have participated in sports throughout their, from high school to college to AAA to come and train. And so her idea was genius and we did it. And I really didn't know the value of it until a couple of pro wrestlers that are on the independent circuit came and were training at WOW. And they came up and said, "We're so appreciative of this because it's an all female training center." And I didn't know how unique that was till they brought it to my attention, that it was a safe environment and one that they felt they could prosper the most from training because it was dedicated 24/7 to women's training. And the training is headed by Selena Majors, who was an NWA wrestling star back in the day and from the Georgia um, territories in the South, and Jim Crockett, and she's done an excellent job. She has three assistants there. We bring in other people for a weekly seminars, etc. And I think we're doing a great job. And I look at that from injury level to performance level. But at the end of the day, at the very end of the day, we've had great athletes that come through, but they don't have the personality or the pizzazz. And then we've had those that have personality and pizzazz that aren't that good of athletes. And
Hmm.
you have to weave through those and find who you have. And you end up with you've got Goldie Collins, you've got Katarina Jinx, you've got Daisy Lane, you have Chainsaw, you have a new wrestler, Xena Phoenix, who's incredible. You've got Candy Crush, Coach Campanelli. All these performers came from the WOW homegrown system. And I think it's great. When you talk about mic skills, um, I saw at our last WOW event we just held, Coach Campanelli just threw the fans into a complete frenzy. It was like the old days where they're throwing cups and popcorn and booing her. And I was getting worried, did we have enough security on hand? Because boy, they wanted to take a lick at
Oh
Coach
man.
Campanelli. She had risen the temperature in the building.
What's old is new again. Old school fundamentals, they still work today. So I love that.
It never went out of style with me. I'm old school.
Yeah, I love it. You talked about AJ, we just saw her return to the ring. Do you kind of see you guys as kind of helping her kind of bring that passion back to wrestling? I mean, you mentioned how important she was to you guys as you're starting out at this new brand of putting herself out there, but how is it for you to kind of see her come back to the ring, knowing that how intricate she was, with WoW early days
Oh, I
of this?
loved it. I loved it. She took a chance with us, came to WOW. I think she's proud of the product. She'll be on that special with Jeanie Buss prior to the show. She's on that special also.
Nice.
And um, I wanted to get her in the ring with WOW, but the timing wasn't right. And she wanted to make sure her body was at a 10 in conditioning and in shape. And she was writing movies and doing the comic books when we were able to get her engaged, just coming off the comic books and then going into the movies. So it is so fun to, I never knew AJ before she started working with us. So now it's so fun to watch her and see her prospering and doing so well in the ring. And I can see it. And I sent her a note and I just said, as she was going in the first night of her debut, I said, just soak it in and enjoy it. And I'm sure she did because I could see from the expression on her face. She knows she's getting a blessing of enjoying this with her husband and having fun with it one more time.
Love it. Lastly, just what do you want to say for, we're just starting out season four. What do you want to tease for fans and what they're going to see? I mean, you kind of touched on it a little
There's
bit
going to be
earlier.
some great competition in the trio sector. Top tier, Gloria Glitter, Coach Campanelli, and Crush have all been dominating for the last year. But I think you're going to see some competition for them this year, especially in the likes of Fury, Chainsaw, and Daisy Lane. And of course, we've got the class master managed by Samantha Smart coming back. She's great. Genesis just flew in from Australia. She's back for this season. Santana Garrett, this is her run. This is Santana Garrett's run. I really didn't realize it till we were interviewing her in Florida, because she's been in every wrestling organization. She's been in all the wrestling organizations, including WWE, and she's won championships everywhere. But she somewhat started her career on a major level with us, with WOW. And her dad participated in it. Her dad, Kenny G, and he before his passing was able to come to the WOW events and see his daughter. And this is like full circle for her now. She's back in WOW, and I know she'd like to make a run for that championship title. And Tormenta is back from Mexico with the championship. And Paola Mayfield, who was a reality star in TLC's
90 Day Fiance.
90 Day Fiance, thank you, and then Amazon's The GOAT. She is back. So it's going to be a great season, a lot of great competition, and we're going to do exactly what you said, Scott, is really delve into the backgrounds of who these people are. Like, why is Paola Mayfield, after winning $1 million in reality TV, now in WoW and wrestling? Why?
Hmm.
Why, after winning so many championship titles, is Santana Garrett back to go for it with WoW? Why is that? Um, People want to know. Why is Genesis from Australia, who's got a gorgeous life traveling, she lives in Italy and Portugal, back with WoW to come in here and go for it? Um, that's what we're going to try to deliver to the fans, the why.
Love it.
And
Thank you,
I
David
think
McLean.
we're gonna try to do it better than anybody.
I love it. I love that, your place in the marketplace too is something we don't see. So that's awesome that you guys are filling that need that people love women's wrestling. And this is great opportunity for those to kind of check it out. So definitely in syndication, check out Wow Women of Wrestling. Definitely check out those dates in Fremont Street and that Fremont experience. Sounds like it's going to be a really good time. So thank you so much,
Oh,
David, for the time.
thank you, Scott. One last thing.
Sure.
People ask me, like I'm in Vegas now, so people have seen me walking around and they'll say, "Where do I find WoW in my local city?" Go to WOWE.com and just go. There's a tab in there. Check your local listing, put in your zip code, and it'll show you the schedules for the updated list of WoW in your local market. And then, of course, it's on Vice every week, Pluto 24/7, and Tubi with one of the past seasons. So
So
it's
no,
out
no excuse, no excuse. You can
no,
check out
come
Wow
to
wherever you
Las
are.
Vegas. Book your room now. Get the D Hotel, get the Four Queens, get the Golden Nugget, get one of those places, Fremont Casino, and be there live and say hello and tell us we saw this interview with you, Scott, today. We
Perfect. I
appreciate
love it.
it.
Thank you so much. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.